Hi. How are you
I don't know why
doing?
we were so silent. I didn't know if there was like some kind of sound we were supposed to be able to hear but couldn't hear about
No.
like an intro.
Oh yeah.
No. Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Full Magazine with your host,
The Full
Cox.
The full magazine, not the whole magazine.
The whole magazine.
Got him.
The whole magazine.
Oh,
yeah.
no. I am retard.
Thank you,
sorry.
Walker. Walker's back.
Yeah.
You know, he went on some lovely vacation. Very well deserving. I don't know if he wants to share news or not on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am officially off the market.
He is off the market, folks. Sorry.
Fuck. What was your
Please
what was the
withhold
market-
your application.
what was your market cap?
A lot more than yours.
Fuck you.
Are you asking for my body count?
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even want to like go that far with the joke, but that's pretty good. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats. Drink to you, buddy.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cilantro. It's good.
You
It's
say
good.
Cilantro.
It's lovely. Cilantro.
Isn't that a meat?
Yeah. We
Kill
have
yourself.
we have a podcast today. You know, it's New Year's. Also, by the way, belated.
Actually, New Year's Eve.
God, what
yeah,
a year.
It's New Year's Eve is when we're recording this. And you know, we didn't say Merry Christmas on the last podcast,
Oof.
which is a poo on us. But have no fear.
You'll get them next year.
We'll get you next time.
Have
But I
no
will
fear.
say that we have, of course, I almost forgot all the fucking intros. You know him, you love him. He's been here for a while.
Yeah, it's me.
Taze, hey,
Mhm.
how
Hi.
you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Next person.
You're doing good.
You're just a bitch.
I'm in a big chair in this
You
room.
heard him. He's back. He brought us into the podcast episode. Hello, Walker.
Wrongly.
Hi.
Hi. And we have Cornet.
Hello.
Yeah, he's
Corn
back. Through popular demand, actually. Sort of like the comedic relief, the gesture, you know.
Popular demand. I mean, just from
dumb.
Village
Just from, like,
idiot.
Doubtful.
the two people at work who listened to it asked for him back.
Yeah, the two people, they were like, we have to have
Well,
him on.
Where do you even see comments on
No,
this
yeah,
bitch?
it's great. I have my ways.
Okay.
Remember the signal
He goes-
demons? The signal demons?
Rain fade demons.
The rain fade demons.
Yeah.
It's all real. But we, of course, last episode, I do apologize. We have a new setup, so unfortunately lost the alcohol review in the first part of our last episode. But we are good now. We don't have to.
Sacrilege.
We don't have to. I know. We don't have to be interrupted by a 2-year-old doing random things. So let's dive into our alcohol review.
So good. So good.
So sexy.
It's amazing how that's like one of the first
Um,
things we really recorded.
Yeah, that was like one of our
That's some-
projects that
that's
we
some-
actually did,
that's
and then
like some
you were like,
ancient stuff.
"I'm never doing a project ever again."
Should I do my job?
Yeah.
All right, so today we have a fucking wine that he randomly picked out of the refrigerator. It's Dark Horse Cabernet Sauvignon from California, which apparently
Do we have any like?
I think recently California there was like a whole thing with wines and like some judges were like, "That's the French wine," and it was actually Californian wine. So basically,
Yeah.
Californian wine's better than French wine now,
They
according to the French.
truth be told, like all of those things is a bunch of horse shit mostly. They've
Yeah.
done sommelier tests
Mhm.
all over the world, and none of them can ever be right.
Let me keep reading the bottle.
Yeah, please.
All right, so on the back of the bottle it says Dark Horse, noun, the unexpected winner. For us, winning means bringing you exceptionally crafted and well-balanced wine that over-delivers on your expectations. We do this by working side by side with 400 of California's finest grape growers to earn the first pick of their harvest. And we taste our wine over 100 times before you pour your first glass. The result? A bold Cabernet Sauvignon with notes of plum, a hint of oak, and a smooth finish. Cheers. Signature of some dude.
Do we have any like more geological information on there, like a specific area, like Napa Valley, shit like that?
If they're pulling the grapes from 400 different locations,
It's going to be a
it's
different.
wherever
It's going to be a
this
huge blend of
specific-
Cabernet. Okay.
Yeah, wherever this specific type of grape best grows, they're probably pulling from all of the places inside California where they grow.
It's
good
not a
grapes.
bad thing because the wine we had last time on the podcast that we missed, the delicious
Yeah.
Zach Altamer or something like that, was quite good, and that was a
I liked
California
it,
blend.
Did we finish that off
Yeah,
on Christmas?
yeah,
It was so good.
We killed it, dog. Like,
yeah. It was delicious. It was a beautiful, beautiful wine. But this is very dark indeed. Definitely, definitely looks like a cab. It looks like either a cab or
Looks
a
like a
fucking
cab.
or a port wine too. Of
Making
how dark
fun
it
of
is.
you because that sounded very pretentious.
What?
It looks like a cab.
Oh, it looks like an SKS, but you know,
It's about the right color.
It looks like an SKS.
Spelled with like UR.
It looks like an AK.
Is this too much or?
No, it's fine.
So that would be like
Thank you.
instead of saying
Interesting.
SKS, you're like that looks like an S.
That looks like
Looks like an S.
An S.
That looks like an S. Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, sweet, fruity, plum. Smells good. Smells really good.
I like how your immediate rebuttal to anything is, oh
Tart,
yeah, well you're a
plum.
gun guy, so
Tart, plummy,
Interesting.
Yeah.
like a fig Newton.
I definitely like the other one.
No, the other one is better, but Cabernets do have their place. Cabernets are not bad. They're quite good. Unfortunately, this is going to be a cheaper wine because it's a blend from 400 different fucking growers. So you're not going to have like those isolated characteristics that they say that you get in certain areas and regions
Right.
of wine.
it's kind of dry.
But it's kind of it's still really good.
Kill yourself. You're done. You're done.
Yeah, unironically, on the dryness scale though, it's not terribly dry. It has some sort of residual sweetness ever so slightly, but it's more like the sweetness you get from like fruit. So it's not like sweetness like sugar. It's like sweet like fruit, which is pretty nice.
It's really grapey
It's really grapey.
and
It's really grapey
purple.
and purple.
Yeah. Not a lot of red notes. There's a lot of purple notes in here.
It's a lot of purple. It's like a dark red.
I like how
kind of.
everyone's using this, the side table thing like a reasonable person, and you're like, I am not that.
What do you mean? The table's on my side.
He is using it as a side table. Everyone else
yeah.
is using it as a TV
Good,
tray.
good for you. I'm proud of you. Moving up.
For the people listening, Hayes is being a bitch as usual.
He means smart
No.
and
no.
comfy.
All right, shut up for the outro.
Nice.
Bitch.
I tell you what, kids. Avatar. Not Avatar: Last Airbender, but like we'll go into that more.
Okay,
Because
good.
we had
Talking about the blue
we
alien
had an
smart
interesting
cats.
we had an
Yeah.
interesting discussion off the podcast with somebody. But Avatar, the blue people, is still like one of the highest grossing movies of all time. I think they got around $2 billion worldwide, which is fucking crazy. That's an estimate. I believe it was $2 billion. They got $2 billion for that movie. And they were able to basically cover the production cost of the next subsequent movies.
Because there's 4 of them in working right now. If y'all, I'm
Which
not sure.
There's
with
going to
that-
be
with-
3
with a-
more.
With
Yeah.
a budget of $250 million each, they have their budget. They've made their money. They literally have gotten the money back.
Now it's just a passion project for him.
Well, no, because like ultimately that $2 billion thing, it still goes towards like, it's complicated how like movie budgets work and how people get paid during movies and shit like that. But ultimately, like the first movie, I don't remember how I necessarily felt about it when I first saw it. It was cool, like visually, because at the time, like we were kind of starting into the new whole like CGI was getting pretty damn good, and like motion capture and shit like that was kind of the thing. It was good visually. It was great. The music was even better. It was a beautifully scored movie.
Unfortunately, it was attached to that fucking movie.
Well, I mean, the first one was fine.
It's kind of dumb.
It's really just Last
It's-
Samurai, but with blue
It's
Smurfy
of course,
cats.
yeah. I mean, like if you go
And
based off of the
missing out
technical,
on like a lot of the same kind of like
Into the mic.
nuance as. So it's missing out on a lot of the same kind of nuance as Tom Cruise's in that movie,
Yeah.
The Last Samurai. But it's basically just betraying the whole human race for some
Yeah.
blue pussy.
Literally. And you know what's
Yeah.
crazy? You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
It's not even blue pussy. It's blue tentacles.
Yeah, they
It's-
touch tentacles.
okay,
That's-
yeah, I
yeah.
love that.
Honestly, I'm not even unconvinced he didn't
You
fuck
know,
the tree either.
What's
Like,
interesting though,
that was a little weird.
so the reason why we've waited so long, I believe, was something on like 13 years since the last movie before we got the sequel. Of course, you had the fucking pandemic, which was this huge thing that shut down a lot of what we were doing. But they actually were having difficulties because in the water, there's some water scenes in there, and they are practically recorded. Like the actors are literally swimming in water, and the reflections of the water was fucking with the motion capture
Yep.
technology. So they actually pioneered new technology to actually do those scenes, which is really cool. That's why it took a little bit longer than that. But who knows? Maybe the subsequent films afterwards really kind of take off, and like the production time is a lot less than 13 years. You know, because I don't want to be 50 years old before I see the fucking fourth one.
Yeah.
I will say though, the liberal sort of hemisphere of the world that's reacting to the movie, they are so desperate. I mean, I think we addressed this on the last podcast. For the sake of Walker, though, Avatar is culture appropriation. The blue alien people.
They're appropriating the culture that was invented by the guy who wrote the movie.
It's cultural
Yeah,
appropriation because these blue 9-foot-tall aliens have braids.
So they're basically just coded as brown people, apparently.
And that's not really the issue. The issue is that they were portrayed by white actors. You know, the white actors playing
Oh, they
fictitious.
They should have got blue people, definitely.
They should have got
Yeah.
the blue aliens.
Yeah.
You know, the Na'vi should have come down here. We should have
We
contacted
should
them
have
personally.
casted them.
We should have casted them
For
but,
their
you know,
part,
the
but-
greedy white man be how he be. Yeah, that was a great thing to come across Twitter. I almost threw my phone.
I would have thrown it.
Well, I saw something interesting this morning. Apparently, James Cameron ripped a whole 10 minutes of gunfighting out of the film because he's like,
Yeah, he doesn't like guns anymore.
yeah, he's
And
like,
he says that he would have, or he wishes he made the last one without guns in it.
So
Yep.
James Cameron is ripping a gunfight scene from Avatar.
no, 10 whole minutes of gunfighting was ripped from the film. He says,
Because he doesn't like guns.
Is this just because one of his friends, like John Travolta, is like in trouble because of guns?
no,
Or
no,
is
no,
it
no,
just
no,
because he's being
no, no, no.
lib?
He says why.
No, this is like a liberal.
No.
Is he just
outrage
being
about
a lib?
firearms.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
lib
No, no, no.
pussy.
He
Virtue
he
signaling?
actually said in this article, he's quoted as saying that, yeah, I look back at all the other films I've made in the past, and I wonder, would I have actually made that, but today? And he's talking about Terminator 2
Mm.
or something like that.
Well, it's kind of funny, James, because what has recently
Yeah,
been
like he's
coming
listening.
out, what's been recently coming about, like we're seeing with a lot of Disney films, Marvel, that kind of. I'm saying Disney because a lot of majority of those movies that people are flocking to go see, or rather not flocking to go see, woke doesn't work. People don't want to see woke movies. They're
Apparently,
and
there
that's
are
being-
pregnant female warriors in this movie too. So if you want to jack off in a theater, you might.
They're just trying to tick off all the fetish boxes.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, that's probably it.
I mean, they got the tentacle people.
You know,
they got
I
the alien people.
Yeah, they got the You're right. They got tentacles.
In a-
Tentacles, blue aliens, female warriors.
In a
pregnant.
horrible realization, I stumbled across a YouTube video, which was about Zootopia.
Oh God.
Wait. Which?
Officer Judy Hopps.
No,
Why'd you go
um,
straight to fucking opposite?
he was
Bro.
addressing.
Is this a Tumblr video?
No. This is YouTube.
Okay.
He was addressing the fact that Zootopia was made by a bunch of furries,
Mm.
Yeah, we all knew.
Okay, yeah.
and the
It's
amount of
responsible for a new
and
generation.
the amount of
Gen A furries.
Okay,
but
so
the amount of furry like innuendos in there is startling.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
there's a. If you watch it,
No, like I don't think I'd be surprised because I like full disclosure, I haven't seen it.
yeah. Well,
That's fine. That's
but
fine.
Walker, on that new gen furry shit, I can guarantee you where the furry shit started. Treasure Planet, that fucking captain.
Yeah.
All right,
We
that's
met-
one of my favorite movies, so I'm
Guaran-
offended. But
Guaranteed. That fucking cat captain is where it all fucking started.
yeah, I may have jerked off to the cat.
You know,
I
Oh,
wowie,
no.
wowie. The truth is revealed.
Have you seen her thighs, dog? Fuck.
What?
I'm gonna say. So my sense of humor is kind of sometimes saying the most cursed thing that comes to mind. No, what did it for me was like when she jumps down from the
When they first introduced
when
her.
they first introduced
Yeah.
what's it called the lines, the rigging. Yeah, so when she jumps down from the rigging on the ship and that meow kind of
Yeah.
thing that she does,
Yeah.
that's what does it for me.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
No, there's a scene where when the
This
dog
podcast is now about
It's now
When-
Captain from
It's
when-
now
when-
definitely R-rated.
when the fucking scientist dog gets hurt in the final scenes and she's over him, if you listen very fucking carefully,
No.
she purrs.
Ugh.
Like
yeah, that's
purrs.
true. That's true. She does purr at him.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, honestly. Thinking about how many animators probably get jobs with Disney, because of all
Think
the
about-
furry porn that they were commissioned to draw.
Think about how many people start their career out as drawing fucking deviant
I got something
art
worse.
for
And imagine
I
like
got something just as
imagine
bad.
like presenting a award of
Think-
like best animator and like they have to write their fucking bio. It's like first started on Rule 34 as a
MLP artist.
yeah. Can you imagine? And they just like they won't even skimp by that part. They're just like, yeah.
Yeah, I used to draw pony porn.
I used to draw, clopping. You heard of it?
Interestingly,
You dig?
You did.
You dig?
Interestingly, there is a good reason for wanting the destruction of Russia, and it's because there's I think it's a My Little Pony mod.
I'm fucking.
Or,
I'm
like,
sold. I'm
Fallout-
sold. All right. I don't even know.
Fallout
I don't even
3
need. I don't even
that
need
comes
to hear
from
the rest.
Russia. Everything is just Equestria now.
Is it really?
I'm pretty sure.
That's so funny.
This is the country we're
I
sending.
saw a post where someone was like, "Why do you hate Russia so much?" And they're like,
Yeah,
absurd.
MLP.
This is one of them. One of my laundry list.
Well, then there's got to be a Morrowind or a Skyrim mod for that too
Yeah.
on the workshop. It's probably on the workshop.
You know, I've seen
no.
My Little Pony mods on
You've
the workshop.
looked.
So here's the thing.
They come up on the
workshop-
recommended. They come up on the fucking
So-
featured page, dude.
So
You click workshop and like in the featured items, like are most popular in the past week, it's just fucking bronies.
Yeah.
Like just playing Skyrim.
Wait,
all
no,
at
for
the same-
real?
Or
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Or like
because
a
in the
rape
special
mods.
edition,
like
edition,
literally just like the rapiest shit you can imagine.
Listen.
Like, that's just somehow featured.
any of y'all that play Skyrim Special Edition, where you can get the mods on the game, if you go now, I was playing it last night, and I wanted to put in a mod for the weather, because the one I had hadn't got updated in a couple of years, so it's trash now. Fucking there, it like three slides down from the first selection where they recommended, where they have all of the ones. There's one for BDSM, and the picture of it is the fucking lizard man that you meet in fucking the first lizard man you meet in that town in the tavern. Just tied up as the fucking picture screen.
You know,
Why are your Skyrim people
I
so horny?
don't know. I really don't know because I don't think there's any RPG that doesn't have a nudity mod.
There's only one way to play Skyrim, and that's with the BDSM.
Like, so I'm scrolling on TikTok because, I have to collect content for the show, and there's some mildly entertaining content on there. And I stumble across a video from, like, the Star Wars Last Jedi or something like that with Cal Kestis and shit. And he's wearing a loincloth. And let's just say you can tell his religion. Okay? And I'm
Hey.
sitting here wondering, I was like, what? That's not a fucking skin. And then you dig deeper and it's like, oh, it's a mod. So people have to go through the process
Yeah.
of installing this mod just so they can see the phantasm of his penis
I like
wafting
how
in the
it
wind.
was-
And by the way, apparently it's fully modeled. So you can look under the loincloth with the view and see his cock and balls because
So,
that's a necessity for
I
these
like
players.
how he saw the dick of the character in game. It was like, I need to know more about this.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Let me spend some time.
Because it's like on
looking
TikTok.
this up.
Hey,
It's
hey,
on TikTok. And I was
load
like,
it up.
what the hell?
load it up right now. You have it
I
installed.
don't have it installed. No, I couldn't be bothered, honestly. Why would I do that? Honestly, like, I would wish that if
You,
any
you
of
just
the
want VR to enter your mouth so you can suck like virtual cock.
if any of the previous like most recent Star Wars movies were anywhere near the story of like The Last Jedi,
Fallen Order, yeah.
Fallen Order would have been amazing.
There's
yeah.
gonna be
Oh, yeah.
The Last Jedi Survivor coming out next
Oh,
year.
I'm so excited. I'm excited
Is
for
that
a lot of
a
games coming
sequel
out
to the
next
one
year.
that just came out this year?
Well, you know how it like shares the same name in like the title.
Well, I just don't know.
The Last
So,
Jedi,
so it probably would be.
Fallen Order, The Last Jedi.
I'm excited for a
Survivor.
lot of games coming out next year. We have in February we have Kerbal Space Program 2.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Where me and Walker are actually gonna harass all of your orbital
You're
flights.
going to be trying to do actual scientific
Yeah.
research, and we're just going to crash
It's gonna be
things
great.
into you at orbital speeds.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Then you're seeing
We have what is it called?
what is it about?
Manor Lords coming out,
Mm.
which is like honestly, I played the demo because it was available for like a week or two. That has to be the best medieval city builder to date. It is so high fidelity, beautiful. You can walk around first person in the city, in the village, whenever you're making it. There is combat. There is all these things. That is, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game. I can't wait for it to come out. So I'm gonna drop like $120 in
Is there a BDSM mod
February.
for it?
There probably is like where you can just make all the citizens walk around nude. It probably is gonna come out soon.
Nice.
Just so you can like go down to the city level, like first person, be like,
So-
nice tits, fat retard.
I
So-
like how we went from like a real topic though to just conversating about
So here's what hurts my soul.
BDSM mods.
There's a game coming out, I believe February, I'm not sure, called Forspoken. That game is looking beautiful. Fucking insane. It is gorgeous. It's an open world, fucking, just, the main character uses magic, and it's just fucking insane. And from the clips I've seen and some of the things they've given us, I could guarantee you it's probably going to be the best looking game that comes out next
You know what
year.
I need? I need an open world RPG of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
See,
Ooh.
That would be amazing. They've tried that.
they did, and
But
it was
that-
fucking trash.
That was like, early 2000s technology. So you're like they had, I believe they had it on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, they had a
Yep.
PlayStation 2 Avatar game, at Lab game, which we'll call it, so we can distinguish it from the fucking blue people. At Lab game, and it was okay, but it was really good for the time. Like they were.
The
it was
worst
pretty
part
good.
is if they make another one, it's going to be about Korra, not about Aang.
So you say that, but here's the thing. Here's what I'm so happy about. Korra net worth almost is nowhere near what Avatar: The Last Airbender makes yearly.
I mean,
Yeah.
net gross.
Yeah.
Because
I
if they
feel
make
like
a game with Korra, they're
if
not going
they
to make
were
as much
gonna
money.
it, they shouldn't have you play as either Aang or Korra, but some like random faceless
Oh,
of like the
make
last
your-
10,000 fucking avatars.
No,
Yeah.
here's what they're going to do. They're going to like make your own avatar, guaranteed.
Well, yeah, that's a
well,
big
if
format
it's an RPG
of
that would be
RPGs.
that would be fine. But
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
been so many thousands of avatars that you could do that with.
Yeah,
There hasn't been thousands of
Yeah, there
avatars.
has.
No, so okay, listen.
hundreds maybe.
It's been hundreds. So
Okay.
because, oh god, this hurts from y'all saying it.
Do we have like a lineage all the way back to
Yes.
or whatever his name is?
Yes.
You think those
Juan.
fucking
Juan.
nerds didn't put the time in? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, bruv, they
yes.
did.
Guaranteed.
Well, then don't make it canon. It's fine.
Fuck you.
Uncanonize it.
Well, I mean, there's a giant appeal to like canon games, though. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big appeal.
Yeah, but then you can't make fucking choices.
Well, I mean,
Because then you have to have a
you have
canon ending and
canon-
an uncanon.
Well, I
ending.
would say like you have your canon characters and places,
Oh, so
and
canon
then like do
that
what you
I
want.
kept fucking waiting at the goddamn what's it called?
Say
the
Say it.
meditation point.
I
and
would
killed
like
the same dude
to-
50 times. That's canon.
I would like to.
That's in Star Wars history.
I would like to consider that. Yes, I would like to consider that Cal Kestis is canon. I don't fucking care because that's just what my head canon is to make me feel better about the fucking abysmal cinematic universe that is the Star Wars franchise right now. It's trash. It's garbage. You have to rely on the comics
the
for
first
good
KOTOR is
content.
pretty good, and that's technically canon. But I think there's a canon ending and an uncanon ending.
For what?
KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, okay.
That's like one of the best Star Wars games, especially if you like retro RPGs. That's like one of the best ones.
I haven't played it. I should try it.
Yeah,
I think it's like $10 on Steam. It's not expensive.
Okay.
I want to see. I'm not. You know what? I've not been excited for any movies. You know, I used to be in high
Yeah.
school, and I
Yeah.
have not been excited for any fucking movies coming out.
'Cause
Like I remember when like I would see commercials for the next Hobbit movie. I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's
right?
go, bitch!"
Yeah.
Like let's fucking. You know,
When 5 Armies came out, I was fucking excited.
Yeah, but like now it's just like, go fuck yourself. And like they have, let's take Lord of the Rings and make an adaptation which is completely not canon and put it on Amazon
Yeah.
Prime and just fucking bastardize
That,
everything
that,
about
that
it.
pissed me off.
I mean, Walker just recently started watching Game of Thrones, which is really cool. And I actually have those books right there.
go ahead.
I haven't read them.
There for looks.
But if I like a movie or if I like a show or if I like a universe, I will get their box sets because
yeah.
I like just having it. You know, it's one of those things. You know, how are you enjoying The Expanse, by the way?
I haven't found
Yeah,
the time to read
yeah.
it yet.
That's my problem too because I want to do something. You know, I'm
Actually,
now
you
just
know what?
starting to.
Me and Walker kind of said something about this the other day. If they soft reboot or do a new sequel of Stargate, you and I don't trust them to do it right. There's no way.
Of what?
Stargate.
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't trust
You
it,
would
right?
lose-
Like the chances that it's like going to come from the same crew that made the Mandalorian.
It's not even that. It's not
would
even
be
that.
so
It
low.
is. It is. It
Well,
is.
I mean, considering the fact that it's an entirely different intellectual property, it wouldn't be done by George Lucas.
You know-
But you know what I'm saying.
So
like those sorts of
the
professionals.
the ultimate challenge of these things, and this is true for any sequel. This is true for any sort of reboot. Yeah, it is so difficult because humans are naturally resistant to change. We don't like things changing. Like if you took an actor and just removed them, it feels different for a long time before you get used to it. It's not a comfy feeling. So with that being said, like it is something that it is very difficult for producers to accomplish is retaining that original charm that a franchise had. Stargate it feels like Stargate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know by watching it, the producers, the directors, you feel that it is Stargate. The pacing, the humor, the writing.
And part of the cleverness was to slowly write out Jack O'Neill. They promoted him to be the base commander. So
So it's a smooth transition.
yeah. And so that's the biggest challenge that people have with writing. And it's a very, very difficult thing to retain because a lot of what people don't really...
This is more for long-running TV shows than it is for, like, the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, for a movie? A movie is a little bit easier, but at the same time, it'll have a different flavor. Like, for example, you go to the old Star Trek shows, right? They feel like Star Trek. You go to the Star Trek movies, I recognize characters, but you're like, it doesn't feel like the original Star Trek.
It does feel
Which isn't a bad
like
thing.
an extended episode.
Which isn't a bad thing, but there's a difference,
like,
right?
I don't know. The Wrath of Khan is pretty good.
You can detect a difference.
And so is The Undiscovered Country. I made you watch The Undiscovered Country, didn't I? Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. My parents are huge Trekkies, so I had to watch all of them growing up.
Was that the last one we watched?
My granddad was.
Probably.
My granddad was. We used to watch every time I was over at my granddad's house. He would always have Star Trek on. And just used to be playing.
See, my grandmother was the same way, but it was with Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, personally, if I were to pick one,
My fiance.
Okay.
I think she said her grandma really likes Stargate, and that's how she knows about it.
Same.
okay, pick one out of three. Okay, Stargate, Star Trek, or Star Wars.
Stargate.
So for what?
Overall,
Overall, that's hard to choose
it's hard.
because there's
It was easy for
there are
me. It is.
different types. There are
Yeah.
different types of
Sci-fi.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
They're completely different flavors.
One's
of
kind
sci-fi.
of fantasy. One is like far futurism. The other one is like
yeah.
See,
So
but
Star
adventure
Wars,
military.
Star
stuff.
Wars is your
It's fantasy.
fantasy.
Yeah.
Star Trek is your
You know
distant
what?
future,
I see,
and then Stargate is your
It's military
is your,
fiction.
Yeah, your
You know what? I see your three mainstream ones, and I will raise you Starship Troopers.
Ooh,
that's a
I
good
changed my
one.
mind. Fuck Stargate. Starship Troopers. Fuck yes.
For the overall memeability and appeal of Starship Troopers, they get an extra point, but I will still stick with
The mod for
Stargate.
it being a really stupid of a question.
the mod for Squad is so fucking fun.
It's so fun. I've seen it and I'm like,
You get like actual combat fatigue
Ooh.
from fighting the bugs.
Speaking of games, they're having a Starship Trooper FPS come out.
I've seen a lot of RTSs that revolve around Starship Troopers. There's a lot of stars going on.
FPS.
Yeah. So I've seen the RTSs,
I have one of them, and it
Um,
is fucking amazing.
but I can see the appeal of a fucking first-person shooter because I tell you what, those bugs, they probably scary as fuck coming at
Yeah,
you.
if you look at some of the clips, like after this podcast or something, look at some of the clips. Some of those fucking moments are scary. You'll be sitting there killing a couple of bugs, and then like literally the next second, just hundreds of those motherfuckers come over the hill. You're like, well, fuck.
My dear,
The
my
mod
dear
for
fellow,
Squad is like that. Where they
my
come
dear
in kind of
fellow,
like
I
waves.
ask
Do-
you to
does the mod-
raise thine
are
microphone
the enemy
upwards.
team
There you
bugs?
go.
It's
This little
AI.
section right here is
Oh,
what picks
okay.
up the sound. Try talking now.
Hello.
There you go.
Okay.
You hear yourself now. Instead of talking over it, you hear
Fuck
the
you,
difference.
because I can still hear myself.
Isn't it crazy?
Bitch.
I know.
Bitch.
Theoretically, on
Bitch.
podcasts, the headphones are supposed to help the people realize that, wowee, you can't hear me really well. So I'm going
Yeah.
to, instead of talking right here, move into the microphone. If I'm talking up here, it goes louder, and
So
magic. Anyway,
fuck you.
Do
So
we have
How do
actual
these work?
topics to talk about?
we're
I don't
just
know,
talking.
Hayes.
We're having. I know. I wanted to talk about AtLab with you guys. Because we had a discussion with some guests during our Christmas party.
Oh yeah, about
About-
female characters.
Yeah. So.
Oh, here we
They
go.
asked-
Well-written female characters.
So she asked about
People who can't understand the difference between Korra and Toph and why one is bad and one is good.
Oh.
That just tells. That's a instant like.
No, I don't
litmus
think
test.
it was that
No,
confusion.
it was fucking Korra and Katara. People
Yeah.
confuse her all the fucking time for the, and it's not like because if, for example, all of us watched obviously the Avatar: The Last Airbender before Korra, right?
Of course,
People
I
who
watched
watch-
it when it was coming out.
Yeah, same. People who watched Korra first and then went to Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I had the CDs that you can put into PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
They were always like, oh, that must be a relative of Korra, even though, a relative of Katara.
Katara.
Fuck.
Catra. Who the fuck
Is
is
this a new
that?
kaiju in the Godzilla universe?
Anyways, even though Katara is in
It's his
Korra,
own personal head.
she's in it.
Mm.
Yeah, she is. And like the first couple episodes.
Yeah, and it makes no fucking sense. And if any of you
The
listening
first
to this
season,
tell
she-
me,
She's in the first season of Korra, I think.
yeah, she is. She's in the first
don't-
episode.
Yeah,
No,
they call
yeah,
it.
she's in the first episode and she's towards the end, but I don't think she shows up after.
She
Yeah, they
shows
call
in
her
the
Grand.
She shows up in all throughout it in spaces.
Give me another wine,
Into
my friend.
I think it's the end of season 1 or the beginning of season 2. I'm not exactly sure. I think she dies somewhere.
You want somewhere
no.
wine?
But
No.
I have
Good.
not heard a single person that watched Avatar: The Last Airbender before or after tell me that Korra was better than.
Yeah. So the conversation arose when we were talking about the podcast. I mentioned the podcast in some context, like, oh, we talked about this on the podcast or whatever. And she's like, oh, you have a podcast? I was like, yes. And so she looked it up on Spotify and she was looking through the titles. And one of the titles is the naturally supposed to be provocative, so you fucking listen to it. Haha, you have an inside scoop of how I work.
Got him.
And it was, there are no good female characters in modern cinema. Which is, yes, it is a generalization, but it's a fact.
It's pretty true. It's close to true.
And so we had a discussion about that, and we were really focusing on Katara and Korra.
Was I part of this or is this before?
No,
this was on
this is
Christmas.
Christmas. So yeah, it was a great conversation, and there might be a future where we have them on the podcast. Actually, yeah,
And also Clark's wife?
maybe.
If that's
I'm
gonna
not.
happen.
I'm not entirely sure. It's
Definitely
it's,
be a
it's interesting.
very different viewpoint from
It would be.
the panel. So
When you have Jason back on,
yeah, that actually wasn't bad.
actually a discussion, yeah. I mean, I'm not judging beforehand, but it was an actual discussion. It was great. It was
Yeah.
great to have him on, and that was like a 2-hour podcast. I wish I got through because there was so much to talk about.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, what the problem is there's so much selling out going on, and you have to virtue signal. And this is the weird thing, because what the box offices have shown is that people don't want woke. They don't want woke. They simply don't. If we want to look at information, which is what we should be looking at, and is looking at how movies perform in the box office, those hyper woke movies don't do well. They really don't. They don't. Like Toy Story crashed and burned. Okay, that could be a multiple to a reason, because people don't like change. They were expecting to hear Tim Allen as the voice of Buzz Lightyear, but instead they heard fucking Ryan Evans. Okay, so there's that change. But yeah, Ryan Evans, Captain
I didn't know
America, played Buzz Lightyear in the more recent movie
His
because
name Chris Evans.
yes, sorry, Chris Evans
Uh-huh.
played thank you.
That's
Played
really weird, man.
yeah, because why? Because Tim Allen is absolutely a conservative.
Mhm.
And God forbid Disney ever give money to a conservative.
Right.
So, there might have been the older crowd who was a little bit more apprehensive to go to that movie because they knew it was different. It wasn't going to feel like home. But then there's the other aspect where you had the lesbian kiss for no fucking reason in the film.
Wait, what
Which
movie
is supposed
this?
This is the new Toy Story. This is the
it's not Toy Story.
sorry, it's
Buzz Lightyear.
It's
Buzz
the
Lightyear.
origins of Buzz Lightyear.
Oh,
It's the
Buzz
origin
Light-
story of
okay,
Buzz Lightyear. Yeah,
okay,
it's
yeah.
not
And-
Toy Story. It's
and
the
the
Toy Story universe.
And Buzz Lightyear's main friend is gay. And you don't find this out until, like, I believe halfway through when
There's like a random scene where
Yeah.
this fucking thing
Totally
kisses.
kids appropriate.
There's a lesbian kiss in the
Unreal.
middle of the movie for no reason. Like, I get it. If you have a lesbian kiss or any sort of thing like that, and if it propels the story forward, fair play. But if it's just to get kudo points, you're a piece of shit. And that's why that movie didn't do well in the box office.
See, it didn't cause because when I saw that, I was expecting an emotional turmoil between Buzz Lightyear and her, because I was like, oh, he has secret feelings for her. He saw this kiss. What's emotionally damaged now? This is going to propel the story forward. No, just okay,
Nothing?
nothing.
Just a thing that happened to squeeze in those extra kudo points. So yeah, it's one of those things. What we're seeing now is that, especially in cinema, woke doesn't pay. So it makes you wonder, why do they try anyway? What's the point? They've had this data for the past couple of years now. Why do they continue to try? That's
Well,
what.
Because
I
the
do-
shareholders demand it.
I do have an, I have a-
Likely, yeah.
I have a theory. So like they've been doing a lot of reboots of everything recently. What happens when like the old stuff becomes harder to find than the new stuff? Right.
Walker.
You just interrupt the whole podcast to hand me a bottle of mead. What is this? Why have you handed this to me?
Lift your mic up.
You want me to drink this? That's what this
Yeah,
is
try it.
about. Okay.
Try it.
It was actually good.
Just interrupted the whole podcast.
Give him one of the snifters so he has a clean glass, not to be tainted by that Cabernet.
But the thing is,
Doesn't-
like,
it doesn't smell great.
when you're like looking through the Star Wars content on Disney Plus, right? The new stuff is usually what's up front.
Give me a
right?
glass of that too, actually.
That'll be $5.
Yeah,
So it's easier to find the new stuff than the older stuff. It's not impossible,
right.
And if you actually know the title of something, it's buried behind like hundreds of different shows and movies. You can just easily find it.
I love those glasses. They're so beautiful.
It's called the Glencairn, and it's
Yes.
not for mead, it's for scotch.
But here's the thing: what if like newer kids that like never got to see the
I like
old
ours
original
better.
trilogy of Star Wars? What if they're looking for the old stuff, but they don't have a name, and they don't
That's
know what
not
to look
good.
for, and they have no experience with anything classic?
It's okay.
But all they've got is this new shit,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's kind of like
It's funny that
It's-
you mentioned that.
it's like
are you
cul- it's
are you
like-
in my head? Because legit, I was just
It's
browsing
like
the YouTube as I do. So I'm ADHD apparently.
Mhm.
Quirky, right? Got a
I'm
self-diagnose
not
here.
like every other guy.
But no, because I have my 3 monitors here, and so I'll be like playing a game, like one of those like you don't have to really focus on like a Stardew Valley type game
Mhm.
where you're just doing the do. I'll have YouTube playing on this. Yeah, doing the do. I'll have YouTube on the side, and I saw on my recommend page that the old Star Wars cartoons came up,
Mhm.
and I almost about orgasmed.
You
And
mean
I
by the
clicked
old-
on
You
it.
mean like the 2D Clone Wars?
The
where,
2D
like-
Clone
yeah.
Wars,
Yeah.
and it was the Battle of Coruscant, and
Mhm.
I almost coomed. It like brought me back to like middle school and like
Yeah.
fucking elementary. I was like, oh my god,
But see,
this
instead
what?
of
Where? Oh, how could I have forgot? I didn't forget.
So I
But
had
how
my
could I
parents,
not have been like, I need to
remember
look
when,
for this?
Remember when the internet came in the mail and you had to? That's how you got Netflix.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so-
Redbox.
Yeah.
So I had my parents on Netflix get the Clone Wars, like the 2D, so
Mm.
the 2D animation
Mhm.
CDs, and rent them on.
I haven't
Netflix.
eaten today, so I'm
That's
gonna feel
pretty
good
good.
really soon.
This is why we went to lunch before we got here.
Yeah.
Good.
Red Robin.
Yeah.
Yum.
Oh, I was about to say that. God damn it.
So I think there's a lot of we're straying further and further from the glory of God.
Yep.
We no longer have good children TV shows like Star Wars. We don't have anything that's good on Nickelodeon anymore.
Yeah.
We really don't. And it could be because I'm out of touch. I'm not watching that shit right now. It could be any of those things. But an era has ended, folks.
Oh yes.
I heard that the new Top Gun was pretty good. I haven't seen
It was.
I
It was
honestly
actually
heard
I've
that
stopped,
too.
I've stopped looking at any kind of news on movies. I've stopped watching trailers. I've just stopped watching new movies in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really unfortunate because I remember a lot of my childhood was like going to the movies.
Mhm.
Like that was a family activity that we all
Yeah,
did. We would
same.
get popcorn, and knowing what I know now, like that was an expensive journey
Yeah.
for 4 kids and 2 adults.
Mm-hmm.
And so like now it's really appreciative, and like now it's just
I
like
grew up in a family of with 5 kids, so that's
yeah. So it's like
Ooh, that's
like
special.
going
that
to the
was really special. That was something that
yeah.
I've always been really into movies and cinema, and it was always like a good time when I was younger. Going to go see a new movie in a movie theater was a special treat, especially because my parents are not the greatest with money. To be able to have money to do that and then
Mhm.
go and do it.
To let alone save it to do that to
And
be
then-
for you,
Mhm.
yeah.
And then I remember it was when the new Star Wars came out is when I realized like that I don't know, all movies just stopped being good.
Mm-hmm.
Though some new movies are fine. I like some of the Quentin Tarantino stuff.
Quentin Tarantino movies are
So
Let me-
Once Upon a
like
Time
probably
in
the
Hollywood.
only saving grace.
Once Upon
let
a
me-
Time in
cinema.
Hollywood's pretty new.
Let me tell you, this is how bad it's getting
So is The Hateful Eight.
when it's coming
That's
to like
pretty
new
good.
films. There was a trailer that I was like, oh wow, that actually looks good, and now I'm like, I'm struggling to remember it.
Hmm.
Like,
Thank you for sharing.
What a phenomenal fucking
Moving
anecdote.
on.
I love you. I love you for that. I'm gonna say, I think you're absolutely right. Like, I think Quentin Tarantino, and there's very select few directors who are the saving grace of cinema, and they're pulling a lot of fucking weight. So like The Hateful Eight is one of those movies where like pretty damn good.
And I haven't seen an interesting like long form TV show recently either.
How do you mean?
So other than like Better Call Saul, like you know how like long form storytelling is basically way better in TV now than it is in movies, and that started basically I think with The Sopranos or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's just like I haven't seen a new TV show coming out that actually looks interesting to watch in a long time.
Worth your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big problem. Like me and my wife just recently, while we were in the old house, the old apartment, we were watching like The Golden Girls like religiously, and it's really interesting because like that was a show for like a generation that was not ours, like, and you could tell that, and it's interesting because if you look at it, that's when you kind of see the sort of the little woke, little tiny things creeping in,
Yeah,
right?
the little tiny subversions.
But it wasn't nearly as bad as it is today. It wasn't where you're like, that's some woke bullshit. You're just like, I guess that's a good lesson.
Yeah.
But it made it a little bit more like, it hurt a little more when Betty White died.
Oh,
Like seeing what she had done, where she was, what she was doing, and what she's known for as one of the Golden Girls. And I think we watched 2 movies what she was in just to be like, there you go, Betty.
The fact that she was on a show about being old in like the 70s.
Yeah.
She was on a TV show that was literally just about being really old in the 70s.
She could have been in a meta show about what it's like retiring from a TV
She
show
didn't die
about being
until
old.
what? Just
She
this
was
year?
she was like 94
This year?
and,
Or
yeah,
last year?
and this year, yeah. And she's older than the Queen, and then lo and
Not
behold,
anymore.
The Queen died too.
the Queen died.
I remember calling it because I was at a
Yeah,
I was at a range.
Called
and
it!
I was at a 249 range, and I saw like the family has been called to her side. And I remember telling you guys next to me, "Oh yeah, the Queen of England's probably going to be dead in the next couple hours." And then I go up,
Yeah.
I do my course of fire. I go check the news, and I see the Queen is dead.
Got him.
and like
you're the reason.
I had interesting enough, I had thought that in the back of my mind. I was like, oh, Betty White's dead. No, the Queen's next. And lo and behold,
You two are
Like,
the
they were
reason the
childhood-
queen died.
like they were like childhood friends, and they couldn't bear to be on this
Also
earth
didn't
without each
get-
other.
I also didn't get why everyone cared about the Queen dying in America.
In America, yeah, I don't know why
I was
either.
like, everyone's freaking out about it. Like, oh, the Queen died. It's so awful. I was like, why?
Why? Look, we fought a fucking war to be
Who
separated from
cares?
this.
Well, I mean, they're allies right now.
Hey, they're
but
allies, but at the same
I also
time,
don't care. Like, if the Prime Minister of fucking France or someone died, right? Or the President of France, Macron, right? I forget
Sure.
because they had an election. I forget
Macaron.
I forget who's their president now.
Oh,
They died. No one would give a fuck.
No,
But why does the Queen matter?
this is why. Honestly, this is why. It's because as much as we hate to recognize the things about this, is they are kind of where our culture stem from. They are kind of like the
Well, I mean,
we
absolutely.
took the place of the capital of Western
Anglo-culture.
culture. Exactly. So like
not even just Western, but Anglo.
that's kind of the thing. And I think what is a more sort of response of why Americans could care is because she was around during World War II. She was apparently aiding people. She served as like a field nurse or whatever the fuck she did.
She was in the driver corps.
Whatever she was doing.
She drove cars.
Whatever she was doing, she was there. She was participating, right? But like carrying on like I'm gonna tear up and watch the entire fucking funeral service on the telly. I don't know why any American would do that. Like fucking
Honestly-
Or why they even cared about like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and all like those
Yeah.
weddings and stuff. I've never got that.
I mean,
I've never
I can acknowledge that they're pieces of shit, like that woman.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like,
I honestly
okay,
don't have
anyway,
an
moving on.
because I don't read any of the articles. I just see them
Honestly,
pop up.
the coronation was more interesting than the funeral, frankly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Coming from you, Hayes, that does not surprise me.
I mean, it's just more interesting, right? They have a king now. Like that's just
Oh, of
interesting.
course you're interested when it's a king.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
You
Not a
misogynist
queen?
Fuck.
Fuck women.
Fuck women. And that's why you're not
That's-
married, bitch.
So this is the thing. That is minute 44. Okay. No. I'm thinking of some sort of we have a bunch of different things. Like we have these projects that we want to do for the podcast and for the YouTube channel, because now by request of an actual listener, the podcast is automatically uploaded to YouTube now. So if you weren't aware of that, it's time to do some plugs. Actually, we need to do some plugs, folks. Go follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe to the Twitter.
Or don't. We're not your
Or
dad.
don't. I really don't care. Facebook, do that too.
I really don't care.
No, it's just an easy way, because if you guys want something, if you guys want input to the show, if you want to hear something, if you want to talk about something, that's a great way of doing it, and being able to communicate with us. And if you guys want to hear our opinions, which would be actually really an honor, because why the fuck would you care what we think?
That's you.
Yeah, top one.
Yeah, the top one. Follow us on the YouTube. They automatically get uploaded. We also occasionally upload videos of actual other content,
Like
our range day. Our range
We're
day.
gonna start doing like gaming channel stuff.
Oh no.
I will
Just stream War Thunder.
My gaming thing is separate, so that's going to be a separate entity from the podcast. That's strictly like gaming and non-political.
How many non-family?
What do you mean?
subscribers
Gaming
do you
is a
have?
political act. What are you talking about?
So 47 total on the gamer channel, and like 3 of them are family.
Okay.
Nice.
How many of them are not friends?
None.
Like fucking 90% of those. Yeah.
Those your
Okay.
There's quite a few people in the Discord too, because I need to start streaming on Twitch because I can get money.
Honestly.
Yeah, I think because we have a lot of projects that we want to do.
Yeah, the watch reviews that.
Because I just need to
Yeah.
beat Hayes into submission, into like sticking on a timeline and a schedule, because that watch review will be beautiful.
It will
if
be
we
amazing.
actually do it. 'Cause
We got to go to the waterfall though.
I wrote the screenplay.
We got to go to the waterfall.
We know what we're doing with it, and because of my childhood of going to the cinema, I have a love for cinematography. So I'll actually put some fucking time and effort into this shit.
Yeah.
And I know you want to do some. Hayes wants to go in the kitchen with my beautiful 4K resolution masterpiece.
What?
You want to go in the you want to put
No.
you want to put the B-roll. Don't you want to put the B-roll in like some sort of fucking plug-in that
Oh
makes
no
it
no
all...
that was for a separate thing for the gun.
Oh, okay. It's for the gun.
Yeah.
We're doing a gun review.
So
No. Just like a artsy little
so like
video
a-
of my gun. Once I get all the upgrades.
Of your
a
firearm.
purely cinematographical adventure, really, if you will. No
It's the autism creeping in. I don't like to use the word gun.
How come?
weapon,
I like to say firearm.
firearm.
Wait, so like why don't you like using the word gun?
It doesn't feel right. Autism.
Get out.
makes-
Autism speaks.
I mean like
Autism makes firearm feel
it's
better.
not the same level as calling a magazine a clip, right? Because that's just
Uh,
wrong.
almost.
Isn't the
Because
I
that's
don't
literally
like,
wrong.
I don't
Isn't
like
the-
saying I own a gun. That just sounds so wrong to me. I just like
it feels childish, is the thing.
it does. It feels unintelligent, childish. It just doesn't feel good.
It feels too adolescent for what it is, of like something that can kill something.
So I have a firearm.
I have a firearm. I have a weapon. I have a gas expanding projectile shooter pew pew.
Boomstick.
I have a boomstick. That's
I
my
like
favorite one.
boomstick better than gun.
Actually,
That's because
we
of the
watched our-
cultural implications there.
We watched a really good Grand Thumb video of what different rounds sound like when they're passing overhead.
Yeah, that was a
and
cool
that was
video.
a really cool
He's
video.
not the first person to do that either.
I know, but like
Yeah.
you guys know me. I'm not one to search out these videos really. So
Yeah, you're not a gun guy.
I'm
You're
not
just
a
a guy
gun-
who owns a
Hey,
firearm.
he
Nerd.
said
I'm
the
not
word.
a-
He said the word
I'm
he
not-
doesn't like.
I'm not a gun nerd. I'm
He
a
got you. there,
owner.
Walker.
No, see, it's a compound word, so gun guy is a different word.
Okay,
than
it's
gun.
the compound
Yeah.
words are acceptable.
Compound words
Yeah.
acceptable.
Okay.
But
Magazine
no,
clip?
that video was really cool because you saw the difference between like 5.56.
I have a 30
5.56 makes a really
I have a
interesting
30,
sound
30 caliber clip
passing
magazine.
overhead. 5.56 literally makes the fucking pew sound passing overhead.
If it's subsonic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You've been shot, well, not shot at, but you've had 5.56 shot over your head before. You know it makes a snap sound if
Yeah.
it's still
In
still
fact, if you live in the
supersonic.
barracks
Yeah.
where we are, we're like perpendicular to the range, a little bit down the way. You can hear some of that.
Yeah.
You can hear a snap pop, kind of.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I was like, that's actually a very cool
But it
video.
depends on what your orientation to the range is, because you'll hear
Yes,
like the sonic
absolutely.
boom of the
Yeah.
bullet before they report
Now-
a gun.
Mhm.
Walker, if money ain't no thing, okay, money ain't no thing.
MCX Spear.
Okay, what gun would you get?
Applesauce test.
So, if money was no object, like I could literally buy anything.
Like firearm, if you wanted to buy a firearm in the strict definition of something that you can carry on your person to effectively
so the
engage
M2's
distant objects.
The M2 is out of yeah. If it's like something I
something
can
that you
carry-
would carry if you were bugging the fuck out.
If I was bugging out,
If you
you're
were bugging
adding a
out.
lot in because it's like what if you had unlimited money? What could
Okay,
you buy?
fine,
Down
fine,
to
fine,
What
fine,
could you
fine,
buy
fine.
with unlimited
Fine,
money that you can
Fine,
carry?
fine. This actually
Down
no.
to-
You're absolutely right because this will be far more interesting. If money was no object, what firearm with those previous definitions that I described would you buy?
Right now, I'd probably buy either an HK417, I think is what it's called, the 7.62 version, or a Knights Armament Company SR25 with a can and a thermal optic and all that stuff on it.
Mm-hmm. I have other questions relating to this topic, so
Okay.
I have them loaded. We found our topic, folks, at the 50-minute mark.
Jesus.
What about you, Hayes? What if money was no object? What gun would you buy? AK-47, maybe?
Yeah, probably something in that family.
Because I know that you like the. Would you go for the modern AKs? I'm curious. I'm like,
Yeah,
It's
so
like the
I'll-
AK100 series.
I like all of them for different reasons, but I definitely do like the modernized furniture from Zenico. I think that's actually good looking shit, and I think it's
Nobody cares.
there's man, fuck you.
I had to. I simply had to. I have to use these sounds.
Your soundboard is gay and retarded.
That's fine. Then send me sounds, faggot. Ooh, that's a 51-minute mark.
Yeah, you have to put that one
yeah,
out.
yes you do.
What are you taking out that I said when you when you said the time and I said it to Hayes?
No, he was just mentioning it.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd probably just if money was no object, right? And
Yeah.
I could also have the ammo.
Sorry to belittle your opinion.
Anything in the 5.45 range, that's just good shit. But practically speaking, a 5.56 AK would make a little more sense.
A 5.56 AK. Okay.
His aspirations are so low
No, they're not.
How about you,
that he's
Cornette?
going to buy at most a $1,500 rifle. If he had all the money in the world, he's going to buy at most.
I'm a simple man, I guess.
$1,500
I'm a simple man
rifle.
of simple tastes.
So, is this
So
for,
me and you are in the same boat because I really don't follow guns that often to
Yeah, I
where
don't
I would
either.
have a well-informed opinion. But I will say this: I would probably now, of course, I'm gonna set some fires, and I know you have your proclivities, but I would go for an AR platform simply because that is what I'm more accustomed to now. For caliber,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
stick
That's
with
a good
308.
reason.
I would stick with 308.
Yeah, that's fine.
I would stick with 308, and that's just because that's what all guns are really is personal preference. Until you're going down
Can
to
I
the
change my answer?
sure.
An MCX Spear.
I knew it. I knew he would. I even said it.
Now, so I
Not
would
mad-
go for
not
an
mad or
AR
anything, I just knew it.
platform.
I
I'm
just
not.
knew it.
What would you?
With the
AR,
GSW
AK,
optic.
submachine gun.
Actually, none of those. So
You go for a fucking crossbow.
no, actually.
but also a select fire.
A
bullet.
Henry
It-
repeating rifle.
There you go.
I
so,
knew it.
I'm a big fan of the repeating rifles, and I have a couple back home. But the problem with it is,
I'm clueless. What is?
No, like a
Aren't
lever gun.
all-
A lever gun.
yeah,
Oh.
lever action.
So
Oh,
yes,
repeater.
Most,
Okay.
So
Okay.
repeater is a very archaic term because you're coming from a time where you have things like a falling block or trapdoor rifle, right? Where you or a rolling block rifle, where
Yeah.
you are literally loading one bullet in, closing your breech,
Mhm.
and then firing. And then a repeating rifle is anything, or a repeating firearm is a archaic term for something that you have like a storage of ammunition. So a
Yeah.
revolver is a repeating firearm because especially if you have a double
I
action,
see.
you can pull the trigger and it goes off. You don't have to load another
I
round
see.
in. There's another round that's cycling in.
And as much as I love lever actions, I would still have to stick with the AR because of I could do almost anything with it, especially at the caliber of 308. That's
Or
my reason.
You could with 300 blackout do
Or-
literally everything because it's legal to hunt deer with it because it's 7.62 in most jurisdictions. And because they have a jurisdiction, or depending on the jurisdiction, you can't use things like 5.56. So it gives you like a diameter that you have to be above. So you could use 300 blackout for like if you wanted to do like LARPing military shit hits the fan, like I'm going to go kick indoors and somehow not get booby trapped to death. You wanted to have like a CQC rifle, you could do that. You want to have a deer hunting rifle, you could do that.
Mhm.
It would work.
How would you all feel to the prospect of doing a Discord live at some point in the future for the podcast?
Well, to who?
Because they do
Sergeant Gates?
to our you son of a bitch. Because I have multiple different softwares that allows me to stream to different locations. So we can do Discord, we can do fucking Facebook, YouTube. But that's a discussion for after.
I mean, if we're doing a live thing, people actually watch. Sure.
We did last time. Remember?
When
That was
did
a
we do
long
live
time.
show?
That
It was a long time ago. It was in the old apartment, and
Yeah, remember that one guy called in?
yeah, one guy called in. My
Oh
buddy
yeah,
Zach,
when I was
yeah.
cleaning my rifle.
Yeah,
on
we were
Twitch.
doing rifle
Yeah.
cleaning and we video camera and everything, and yeah,
Nice.
Walker was correctly worried about the appropriateness of showing a firearm on Twitch, but Twitch has some very guidelines that allows you to do some shit.
We can
You
show
can't-
you
yeah.
playing Call of Duty, killing people to death.
Yeah.
But you can't have your gun being cleaned live on air.
Yeah, you can't, but we could do that, so it was fine. So
I'd be
it worked
down
out
for
well. Yeah, it would be fun. It'd be interesting in this format. I'm not sure where the fuck I would put a camera, but we can just do an audio show.
No, I really need to clean my 365.
It'd be like a radio show.
Bring it out, Jamie. I'll
Bring it
clean
out,
my
Jamie.
365 right now.
Now,
Have gun sound ASMR.
okay, so that was a question, right? So, given no limit to money,
Mhm.
what firearm would you buy? And I love how like you can tell like the kind of caliber of gun tard that somebody is when they don't go immediately a Barrett, a 50 caliber Barrett.
But that's like
It's pronounced
not
beret.
that big of a deal to buy.
It's just expensive.
But they
That's
say
all.
it because it's
expensive.
it's 50 cal, it's big bullet.
Now, yes, that would be in the running for something. Like if I go to the store and they don't have any of the other ones, I'd be like, all right. What's so funny?
I mean, if they go to the store and they don't have anything else that I want, and I'll go, fuck it, give me the Barrett that I know is definitely in the back of the store because no one fucking buys these
Yeah,
things.
nobody buys them. I always see them on display, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's for sale. They're like, yeah, it's for sale.
When we went to our
Does
local,
anyone
You
buy
know
it?
what's
No.
more?
When we went to our local gun
no.
store.
You know what's more perplexing is the semi-automatic belt-fed machine guns for $21,000 sitting
drunk.
on the fucking shelves and shit. I
Yeah,
don't
they're
get
semi-automatic belt. I always got to wonder what makes them like
that. $21,000.
because if I have to remove just like one part to turn it back into an open bolt machine gun, how is that legal? Why are you biting your microphone? What's wrong?
Getting drunk.
Okay.
He's on an empty stomach.
So-
Oh, he's on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
You're a retard.
No, I'm absolutely fine. This is what makes talking to you. This is what makes talking to you, fucking idiots, enjoyable. You look too comfy, and I'm getting angry.
You told me to get this chair.
Fuck you.
You told me to put it
You know
here.
what? I'm no longer angry at you. That's how drunk I'm getting.
That's super cool, dude. I don't care.
Stop me. So yeah, I think that because our local
It's
gun
empty.
store, in our local gun store, there was a Barrett just lying on the fucking.
Stop saying
it's
Barrett,
Barrett.
please.
It's killing me.
What is it?
It's
Barrett.
It's Barrett.
Barrett.
Look, he
It's
almost
Barrett.
got you. He
It's
almost
Barrett.
got you to say it.
It's Barrett.
I was gonna say it's not Beretta.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Barrett. So that's
That's what
See, he's
confused.
fucking you
That's
up.
what confused me. So it's Barrett.
it's Barrett.
It's Barrett.
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 Okay. Barrett. So they had that Barrett.
I'm gay.
They had that Barrett.
I'm running out of things to throw at you. Shut the fuck up.
They had that Barrett.
They're gonna
Sorry,
get heavier.
they had that 50 caliber.
Correction. I'm running out of light things to throw at you.
They have that 50
Hey, that 50 caliber
rifle.
bitch
They
on
had-
the wall.
They had that 50 caliber rifle just sitting on the fucking counter where you're like you can go and lean on, like just begging, please, for the love of God, take me. I'm taking up too much fucking inventory space. Take me for the love of God.
You know what would be cool is a Serbu BFG, which is like it's kind of like a Barrett in that it's a semi-automatic, self-loading 50 cal, but it's also it's not long recoil operated or short recoil, whatever the Barrett is, but it basically means that it's going to be more accurate. And the only reason why the Barrett was adopted in the military service and not the Serbu was that they went to Mark Serbu about it, and he was like, I can't build enough of them and like the amount of time that you want. I just don't have the capability of doing that. So they went with Barrett because he could.
AK-50 time. Soon.
Now, the AK-50 would be an interesting thing if he actually like makes that into a serial production firearm.
Yeah.
Especially if it's going to be like way cheaper than everything else. Like if you want to get like big bore rifles for cheap, that might be the way to do it.
Yes.
Or
Now,
the GM6 Lynx. There's another fucking contender for what I
Oh.
would buy.
Oh,
The
no,
GM6
that would
Lynx.
be cool. That would be cool.
For another scenario, so this is going to be scenario based. So, in the given situation that you are intent on, you have no people to care about is just you. I want you to describe to me what your loadout is going to be for the apocalypse, and you're bugging out. What are you going to take with you? Your firearm? Your sidearm?
Out of what I have now, or what like the ideal thing would be?
Whatever you want.
And what kind of apocalypse?
So this is a that's a fucking good question.
Because a lot of the prepping thing is kind of retarded because they don't prep for a specific type of...
This is it's not nuclear war. It is complete societal collapse.
Okay, so just like a complete anarchy type
Complete
thing?
anarchy, society collapse, government didn't fucking figure out their deficit, and now the budget defaulted, and now there's no more government.
So if I were just...
It's the Rick and Morty episode.
So if you're just doing like a single person type thing, nobody else to worry about, and you're an able-bodied young man with access to a rifle, ideally you probably just want to go fuck off to the woods somewhere so that you don't have to worry about other people trying to kill you.
Yeah, but what's your loadout?
Let me describe to you what you can bring, okay? Your primary firearm, your sidearm, a knife of some sort, a rucksack or backpack or pack of some sort, a collection of 4 medications, and that's it. You can only bring 4 medications with you, and some form of food.
Okay, so...
And body armor.
Okay, so if you're going to do body armor, is it soft or hard?
Yeah.
Good question.
Okay, so if you can take armor, I think any armor is better than no armor, and I'm not sure how much it matters. But if you want to get rifle rated, like I guess at level 3, because you're looking at mostly fighting
Describe to me
civilians.
the difference, because I don't know. I don't know the
Okay, so
difference
soft
between
armor is usually just
Kevlar.
Kevlar, and Kevlar is basically a fiber, like a string,
Right.
that they weave into fabric, like you would, make clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very strong, and so Kevlar armor is able to stop things like pistol rounds, usually, as long as they're not moving too fast, or
It's like
made
we're
out of
talking
solid
like
material,
at some
like
distance,
steel or
but
copper.
not point blank.
Well, point blank, yeah, it's just soft though, so it's not great because you can like break ribs underneath.
still
it
break
and
a rib.
stuff, right? Like you're probably still going to be a casualty, but you're not going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Hard armor disperses the entire
Energy
load of the bullet through the
So we're talking like
shape of the
ceramic
plate.
plate, steel plate,
yeah.
with
And I would
Kevlar
say-
backing.
I would say if you have a spall cover, if you can swing, having something that's going to keep metal shards from flying up and killing you by cutting into your neck and chin or your arms, steel's probably better for civilian use if you can't get replacements, because ceramic is objectively better for like ballistic protection and weight. But it can take a couple shots and then it's degraded to the point where it might not be usable, or over
as
time.
effective.
Or over time, you get stresses built up on the ceramic, which will shatter, and then you lose your. Technically, it still works, but it's less likely to work over time. With steel, you can take a lot of shots before steel degrades to the point where
Right.
it breaks.
'Cause it's fucking metal.
We've shot our steel targets
Yeah,
several.
it's fucking
like,
metal. It's steel.
Probably not 100 times because you guys fucking suck at aiming, but we shot it a lot, and it's still stopping bullets.
Yeah.
Where you wouldn't be able to shoot a ceramic plate with the
And
same
what
ballistic
is
rating that many times.
What's the so like if we were to take that as an analog, so the millimeters of steel on that steel target to millimeters of what would be inside body armor.
I don't know. I just know that
I would wager about maybe a quarter or a half of that, depending on
So-
the level of.
I'm not sure. There's not like a metric I think that's easily accessible that I've seen about that.
I want to get another
Like
drink.
rolled homogeneous armor equivalent is a big thing in like tank armor, but as far as like personal armor, I don't think that's
Like
as big of a
it's like,
metric.
hey folks,
It's
I'm
mostly-
I'm exposing that I know almost next to nothing about
it's-
firearms.
it's
and
almost-
armor.
So it's more of you have the NIJ rating of armor.
What's that?
So the NIJ, I forget what it stands for, but basically
Nidge.
it's a standard of testing armor.
Whoa, now.
Or people who do test armor to a certain standard. So there's a standard at which you are able to test armor, and level 3 is like
Okay, so it's just the measure to which they apply armor to give you a
it's
rating.
rated for a specific amount of, or a specific type of projectile. Right?
Okay.
So like level 3A, I think, is rated for like 44 Magnum up to a certain.
Oh, of course they have to fucking add letters. I hate algebra.
Up to a certain thing. Level 3 is technically better. So level 3 is hard armor. Level 3A is usually not, as far as I'm aware. I could be completely wrong on this, but I think I've got it right.
Pull it up, Jamie.
You're
sitting there.
So level 3 would be able to stop like rifle rounds that are ball ammunition, so straight FMJ, you know, hunting like soft points, stuff like that, up to a certain velocity.
Mm-hmm.
And then level 4, you know, you're able to start stopping like steel core penetrators. Right. So armor piercing, that's steel core.
Mm-hmm.
So M855A1, it's not technically armor piercing.
It's the National
But that
Institute of
kind of
Justice.
thing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So, but just like 30.6 AP with steel core, like old World War II stock, like that's what it's tested for. I mean, I think you have level 4 plus, level 5, stuff like that. But for the most part, there's not really anything in either civilian, like easy to access, or military use, which can stop tungsten rounds. So, you'd have to look into it. It's very well written articles about how this stuff works.
Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate I really do appreciate your knowledge, because I fucking don't know.
Hard armor is better if you have to if you know that people are going to know you're wearing armor, and you're thinking that you might get shot at with a rifle. You need to be wearing hard armor.
Yeah.
Because soft armor basically stops at pistol rounds.
So let me give you my rundown of what I would bring. My primary would be a 308 rifle, like a higher value of the hunting rifle I have now. Okay. Higher magazine capacity, say at least 10 rounds. Okay, of 308. Because I want to consider load. I want to consider like weight of carrying the ammunition for it, because that's going to be a very big deal, especially for you bugging out, which is a very big thing.
Are you getting into firefights?
Hopefully not, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly my plan.
Not, yeah.
I tell you my plan exactly why. At 308 hunting rifle, 10 rounds minimum magazine size. Rucksack or backpack of some sort. I would say probably be
like
60.
A scout rifle.
Probably.
If you know what the scout, you don't know what the scout rifle.
Probably
concept
not.
is.
Lightweight rifle that can maybe touch targets to like 800, 900 meters reliably.
That for a scout rifle, I think that's a little bit optimistic.
Okay.
You'd have to look at the scout rifle concept and understand what I'm talking about.
Okay. So probably that is what I'm probably aiming for then, because I'm not going to get shots in at like over a mile long.
Right? The scout
Yeah,
rifle
I don't think
concept.
that's what he's going for.
Yeah, I'm going for
It sounds like it though, like a really, really lightweight, like frontier gun.
Well, I do want lightweight. I do definitely want
With
lightweight.
And he sounds like basically he's okay with bolt action.
I do want lightweight. Bolt action semi doesn't really matter. I don't necessarily want to have a heavy rifle that I'm definitely going to be carrying with me at all times. I'm going to be carrying, of course, 308. I want a sidearm, probably my fucking full-size HK P30 instead of the SK part, so P30. Canned chicken and canned green beans.
What about medication?
Medication. So we're doing acetaminophen. We're doing a antihistamine. So we're doing some diphenhydramine, because I don't want to sneeze when I'm trying to hide from people or sniffle. There he is. Kill him. Not good.
Alternatively, you just kill people before they get close enough to hear you sneeze.
Me and my strategy and your strategy are completely different, my friend.
No, it's not.
Walker's like, come here, bitch.
I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere in the woods, and if I hear you, I'm probably
you're gonna be in a
kill
tree.
you.
You're gonna be in a tree stand, and be like, I smell you. I can. Smell
Unironically,
you.
you probably will be able to smell people.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a whole thing. I believe
Nobody's
there's
going
like
to be able to shower.
there's an army fucking thing about that of like why like hygiene is important is because like the enemy, if you're trying to hide, can smell you.
Yeah, well, you'll know if you ever go camping, like people who are showing up as you're leaving, they smell very strongly of soap, where you're just there like stewing in your own body odors for a while in a tent somewhere.
But my idea of the ideal sort of loadout is a sort of lightweight. I can travel far distances without getting fatigued. I can go ahead and do whatever I need to do in the location I'm at, and I'm constantly moving. I don't want to settle down anywhere.
Well, realistically, if it's a long-term apocalypse type thing and not just like a temporary thing, which probably it's going to be long-term if it's an apocalypse of any kind.
Yeah, like we would magically
You're going
fucking,
to
come
have-
from the ashes, like many of the flags
It's not
say,
a-
like phoenixes from San Francisco.
You probably will last longer if you're able to become part of a community.
Our resident vexillologist, like how the San Francisco flag is
tracking.
a phoenix rising from the ashes because of the Great
So,
San Francisco fires. Look what came out of that.
So, but
Gay capital.
Cox. So, you probably
He's kind of drunk.
want to be able to become part of a community at some point. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're
Well, yeah, for
more
sure.
likely to die.
For sure.
So you can do the whole hunter-gatherer lifestyle, and that's better for like if there's a local collapse, right, of society, and there's like a society at large, or if there's going to be like a temporary type thing, right, where there's just like riots or something, right, and you just go off into the woods by yourself. People probably aren't likely to go out there. If there's nothing out there, you can go poach some elk or something to live off of.
No poaching, no government anymore. Remember,
Sure. So
hunting season is irrelevant now.
so.
He's talking about the
but if you're-
severity of the collapse.
So if you're going out there and it's like a long-term thing, you're going to have to find some way to be useful to a group of people because you're not going to be able to get anything. Like if you're
Yeah.
going to go out there for as long as you can like survive off the shit you carry off your back, what
Yeah.
you said is fine. But if you're going to go out there
Yeah.
and
The intent-
and eventually you're going to run out of penicillin
Yeah.
and fucking ibuprofen.
The intent. I'm allergic to penicillin, so I don't bring that.
Oh, well, you're going to die then.
The intent. There's other.
You're just gonna die.
There's other derivative antibiotics that are good for you. It's actually
Yeah, but can you grow them on bread? Can you grow them on bread?
Can you
Fuck
grow
you.
them on bread? I love your knowledge of these things. It makes me giggle. And if you
So-
know the history of penicillin, you'll fucking be laughing right now.
Yeah, you
If you aren't,
I know the history of penicillin, bitch. Fuck off.
I will fuck you in the mouth.
Strains of penicillin are
Fuck
in
off, bitch.
most cheeses too, actually.
Yeah.
It's just basically edible mold is what we use.
That's
as
why I'm
antibiotics.
probably so fucking diuretic after. I'm just kidding. Anyway, no, that all makes sense. Yeah,
He's not
my goal. No, I'm not diuretic. Thank the Lord. Let's have a moment to praise Jesus. Okay, thank God I am not lactose intolerant because I would be a very angry human being, especially like
Amen.
now developing lactose intolerance after adulthood, which is like the greatest, the worst curse that God can bestow upon man, is you. Yes, my child, taste upon thine cheese and then be allergic to it. Which is the worst thing that could ever possibly happen to any of us, I would fucking wager, because most of our charcuterie boards here revolve around
I think
cheese.
getting raped outside would be pretty bad too.
Getting raped inside's better.
It's a little. It's not as. It's
At
not
least
as,
you have.
It's,
At least you might
It's not
have.
as cold and wet out.
it's wet outside.
At least you might have a couch, or maybe like I don't know. You're out of the rain.
I don't know. I'm just trying
Just-
to put some perspective back.
Just
in
the
your
fact
the
that he added
conversation.
the
Put your glasses on the table if you're done with them.
so just the fact that he added the fucking qualifier of getting raped outside.
Outside is bad. Inside, you know what?
I was just
I'm
trying
out of
to
the
bring
rain.
some.
I'm out of the rain.
I was just trying to bring some perspective back. That was a little
But-
out there, man.
So with you two, Walker, Cox, about the whole survival thing. So you're right. You wouldn't survive very long without joining people, but you're also wrong about that. You wouldn't survive very long by yourself, but again, also wrong. You need not to
You need
travel.
to be useful.
No. Listen, you don't need to fucking travel everywhere. You don't need to be a group of people. Yep. You don't need to be with a group of people to survive. What you need to do, sorry, Cox. What you need to do is what I would like to call creating a dead zone. Knowing that when you walk in there, you will die. So create that dead zone, and when people walk into it, easy for the first couple of months, or maybe like 6-7 months in that area, that local area, kill everyone that walks in.
Okay, so
That's gonna send down people.
and this comes into like the argument against anarchy, like pure full-on anarchy, is if you are alone, eventually you have to go to sleep.
True.
Yeah,
100% true.
And if you know anything about firefights, right, and like military theory, infantry, small unit tactics,
I am in the
who
military.
wins? Who wins? It's who gets fire superiority.
Yes.
Who do you think's gonna have fire superiority?
Oh.
5 people with rifles or 1 man with a rifle?
So here's why. Don't be an idiot and do it in the fucking forest. Okay? Because I guarantee you, not a lot of people nowadays know
So-
how to fight in urban environments. Guarantee.
now you stay in an urban environment. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah,
they're gonna
finish them.
They're gonna get you.
Do you have enough ammunition for that?
I don't know what makes you think I need to use ammunition to kill someone.
Well, you're just
It is
basically
by
you're
far-
adding risk.
It is by far the
if you
most
look at this-
effective method in killing people in modern day.
It's
Use
the most.
ammunition, stockpile ammunition. That's why I
So,
save all of my 9
if you're looking at this rationally, right, the amount of people there, you're increasing the chances of you getting into a conflict where you could lose.
Yes, but here's the thing. Sorry. Here's the thing. You're thinking of, okay, he's coming at me with a knife. I'll shoot him. Why would I ever approach someone with the intent to harm? When I go out, I'm gonna be like, I'm a chill dude. I'm chilling. I'm vibing. I'm
Do I
loving.
see that you have things? Do I want those things?
You won't
I'm
see a
going
knife.
to kill you.
Yeah, but I won't be carrying anything. All I have is a knife. If you want to kill me for a knife, go
It's
ahead. Try.
just like PUBG or DayZ. If I see you in the open and you
Yeah.
might have something I want, oh, you got a backpack
Right there.
on?
Right there.
I'm going to kill you.
If I'm in the open. If I'm in an urban environment, I'm not walking down Main Street.
But you have to understand how hungry people are going to be.
Oh,
how
they're gonna be hungry.
thirsty people are going to be when there's no water.
Yes,
And
but
if
I
they
want.
think that you have something that they could eat and or drink, even if it's your fucking body.
But
they're
I'm not
going to kill you.
I'm not going to be an idiot and allow someone to have line of sight of me through a fucking window on a
Like,
fucking
there's a-
It
16
might
foot
not be an
fucking
allowance.
Hang
They're
on,
going to
hang on,
fucking
hang on,
take.
hang on, hang
They're
on.
going to take ground and hold it and kill you because you're trapped in an apartment.
Then I would
building.
be smart enough not to go there. I'd be smart. I'd look at this motherfucker on the far fucking right,
So I
way
think-
over here in
I
the
think
butt fucking nowhere.
We do have to acknowledge that there has to be some sort of assumed skill in these scenarios because, of course, ideally in this situation, if your intent is to sort of run away, you want to be able to remain unseen. Like, you don't want to be found by anyone, especially if you're by yourself, right? That's an obvious sort of thing. I will say though, like, I guess you're kind of right where like you I guess the most effective method would be to wait a couple months to kill people before you leave. So you're already established. You have quote unquote defender's advantage, and then be able to annihilate
But
people.
if you're alone, people are going to be making gangs essentially.
yeah,
right? This
there
is just
will
how
be
humans work.
We will revert to tribalism.
Yes, and it's going to be even a thing like where hunter gatherers still coexisted with farmers and like goat herders essentially, and so you are going to be able to bring them things from the wild that they won't be able to get themselves, and they're going to have things like
We're going to
possibly
barter
because
system
I honestly think that chemistry is going to be like overpowered in the apocalypse. Like if you know chemistry,
for sure.
it's going to be fucking amazing. Like
For sure.
how do you make gunpowder?
Pharmacists will be the most valuable persons in the world.
Yeah, people growing penicillin on bread.
No.
Yeah.
People just knowing that you can create this sort of thing with this sort of thing. And you don't necessarily have to rely on the prescription name that everyone people are aware of.
Realistically, if you can join part of a community or a gang, you're going to live longer than you would if you were by yourself. And if you're by yourself, you can't be going all gung ho. I'm going to fucking kill everyone.
Yes, you can.
Because if they have a gang of people and they know, we heard a shot from that direction and our fucking best friend died, they're going to know that there's someone over there and you got to sleep at some point. They've
So,
got 10 dudes.
Here's the thing.
They've also got guns.
I'm not going to
probably.
straight out and kill their best friend. I'm going to shoot him in the fucking leg or something. His boys are going to, if they're smart, aren't going to run out and see him. But most
You
people
see how
aren't.
that's not a rebuttal to the argument, though.
You're right.
You're just
it's
adding
not.
cruelty to it. You're just,
And
you're
you
not-
need
you're
to
not
be
dispelling
cruel.
the idea that they're going to want either revenge or they're going to be able to overpower you based on superiority of fire because there's going to be more of them, or the fact that you're going to be by yourself in this
But
instance.
you're under the assumption that these motherfuckers will be able to pinpoint my location from a single shot. No, they won't be.
I feel like you're underestimating the capabilities of like the general population.
No, because I used to be part of the general population. I know exactly. A lot of people are gonna die right off because they're probably gonna think, "Fucking, let's Call of Duty this shit." Start fucking busting in their houses.
Probably, yeah.
Without
There's
clearing
actually
shit.
a large amount of people who are
So-
probably going to die that way.
So they're gonna die that way. Now you have what I would say is the capable population, right? And a lot of that capable population has morals. And at the beginning of this apocalypse, they're gonna have their morals still. I won't.
Hang on, folks. Okay, that's gonna.
When everyone's
we're gonna go
hungry
into
and
our
thirsty.
first. We're gonna go into our first break here because that's gonna bring us to another good point. I still want to hear your loadout and everyone else's loadout here, but that's a great point we're gonna bring up after. So catch us right after the break, and we'll go ahead and discuss that.
Right, no more discussion of it. Are we good?
Yeah, we're back.
Are we back to the whole/full magazine?
Yes, we're back.
And we were talking about loadouts, and you were talking about basically going fucking murder hobo on a bunch of people,
Okay,
and,
so-
and expecting not to get retaliation of any sort.
So here's my thought process, okay?
You just think you'd kill the retaliation.
No. Here's my thought process on this. I'm maybe y'all know this. I'm not sure. When it comes to this particular situation, I would immediately lose all my morals. I don't give a fuck. I'm surviving. I don't care. And I'm sure
People are going to start out with no morals.
Yeah. Yes.
There's going to be street games.
they're
going to
have the edge on
just
you. They've been doing it
immediately-
longer.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing, though. When I shoot them in the fucking chest and I don't
There's
kill them
10
immediately.
more of them.
Yeah. Okay. So, for example, what makes you think I'd be stupid enough to attack 10 people?
Maybe unlucky enough.
The fact that you said that you'd kill literally anyone who enters your dead zone.
Yes, exactly. But if there's 10 people coming through my dead zone, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let them
Just
get
going to leave and try to make a new dead zone.
No, bitch. Here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna walk in. They're gonna be looting my village, and I'm gonna sit there and let them do it. And
He's gonna kill himself in his designated
and the
dead
moment
zone.
and the moment they split up to start looting,
When you enter your
Rob
own
them
dead
of the
zone, so you have to
satisfaction.
kill yourself.
fuck you guys.
Somebody in my dead zone. I need to kill him. It's me.
I'm trying to explain everything. Okay, now I can talk now. Is this my turn?
Until you say something else that's funny.
Fuck you. Fuck you. So, I would let them come in, and I'd let them loot, and the moment they start splitting up, I'm not going to use a loud-ass fucking weapon. Doesn't take that much fucking pressure to break a neck. Doesn't take that much pressure to stab someone through the fucking heart. I know which rib to go for. I was taught this.
But yeah, then you're just getting into physical fights with people, though.
They wouldn't know I'm coming.
Every engagement that you have is just rolling the dice.
They wouldn't know I'm coming. Why would I be like,
Why wouldn't they know? Are you breathing? Are you making footstep sounds? Probably.
no, I'm going to be barefoot.
That makes sounds.
Not if I'm fucking light enough. I'm light on my feet, bitch.
Gonna be barefoot in the apocalypse. So when you step on the broken
When you
glass,
step
it
on the
hurts
AIDS
more.
needles, you just know you're going to die.
When you step on the broken
That's
glass,
part of the design of
when
the
you
dead zone.
when
Yeah,
you step
you
on
have
the
a perimeter of AIDS needles.
when you step on the broken glass from the looting, it hurts louder, and so yeah,
He's
They know you're
envisioning the
coming.
apocalypse as just Die Hard.
or like 7 Days to Die.
No, because you don't meet any other people.
Do you think
7 days
foot
to die.
fetishists like that movie?
What?
Die Hard.
You meet lots of people in 7 Days to Die.
Maybe.
They're all
already dead.
They're all dead.
Like maybe they
We're
like
not
looking
talking
at
about
Bruce Willis.
We're not,
No.
We're not talking about the zombie
They're
apocalypse.
undead.
No.
Dun, dun.
No. What social media
What
wants you to
is
say
dead
now
may
is
never die.
unalived.
So what's your loadout, Cornette? Seeing as how you're talking all this, what are you gonna bring?
I talk
A
shit.
couple
but
knives.
I would have a couple of knives on me, not for like. So I was talking shit, but
What for fucking whittling?
you gotta entertain yourself, like legitimately, like you probably a whittling knife, probably something I can skin animals with for a long period of time
I'd
without
say,
having to
like,
sharpen.
A Leatherman or a Gerber multi-tool and a combat knife like a K-bar or a bayonet type knife is probably a good combination
Yeah.
there.
I honestly, with guns, I wouldn't know because again, I'm not really a gun person. I like to shoot them. I
And
know
it
how to
depends
take
on
care
where
of
you're
them.
going to be. Is it just going to be self-defense or is it going to be a way for you to get food? Are you going to be hunting small game or big game?
I know how to hunt, so I'd be hunting.
If you
but
want to be hunting big game, you're probably going to want
but the issue with that is if I am by myself, which I might be for a while.
to make a smokehouse. You can kill an animal that's going to last you a year.
Yeah, but I
Do you
don't know how
want to
do
use
that.
a smokehouse though? Because that would definitely reveal your location.
Yes.
True.
I want to use a smokehouse. I'm going to be in the middle of the woods.
But at the
How
beginning,
are you going to keep
I
food?
want them to come.
How are you going to keep food fresh?
Oh, also I forgot to add to my kit 100 pounds of salt.
Yeah, I need like at least 3 tons of MREs.
Yeah, I'm gonna have 100 pounds of salt so I can preserve any meat that I come across.
honestly, in this situation, I think the most valuable item throughout the world would be because of convenience. Okay, like after a while, it's not going to be able to happen, so no one's really going to want it anymore. But I think gasoline would be a big thing.
I mean,
And I think-
you're gonna want a vehicle, that's for sure.
And
Or
I
if you
really
know
want.
chemistry, you know how to turn corn into biodiesel.
But
Yeah, that's
how
true.
many vehicles in the world operate off of biodiesel?
Anything that runs off of diesel, with some small
Stupid
tuning
cock.
changements, you can run it off biodiesel, can't you?
I'm still
Yeah,
curious. Hayes, what is your loadout?
So if it's like the same scenario we're talking about, if like all of my family is dead in Colorado, there's not a whole lot tying
And
me
it
there.
will be. The nuclear bombs will vaporize Colorado Springs.
Well, now we're talking about. You said it was a nuclear war, but
Societal collapse. You have no one or nobody.
So anyways,
to care about.
Even if it's not a nuclear war, there will be a nuclear explosion in the Cheyenne Mountain Complex.
hopefully, I guess. No. So I'm. There's only a couple people that would tie me down out there, and they're really far away. And the only other reason to stay would just be my folks. So I would bug out with a destination in mind. I'm not going to stay in the woods forever because you do need to find a tribe to fit into. And the highest odds of survival for me would be to go to Utah. I have some family out there. They got a lot of shit property and things. Who knows? Maybe they start a gang when I'm getting over there. So
I'd probably have to go to my if I could find my fiance and
that would be
leave.
important.
Ideally, yeah.
I'd probably have to go to her parents' house.
So
So they're in the middle of nowhere in the country, and it's
So with that in mind,
already a community out there because it's not in the middle of nowhere in the country.
So with
All
that
down
in mind, I'm not going to be wearing armor at all because that's heavy, and
You're
I'm going to
gonna
be carrying
die.
a lot of water and a lot of food.
Don't you know that you're going to get killed by a drone dropping a grenade because you didn't have soft armor?
Or walking into a dead zone.
Shut the fuck up with your
Dead
dead
zone.
Yeah. shut up.
Cornet recognizing Hayes just could be like, "Oh, he's in the dead zone. Fuck, I have to kill him."
If I see a circle of 8 needles anywhere, I'm going to find.
So
it.
what I'm hearing is, whenever we get the alert that nukes are dropping on Fort Lewis, I have to go to Cornet's room and fucking murder him.
Otherwise, he establishes a fucking dead zone outside of the barracks room. Then you're fucked.
I don't know where he's getting all the
Hey,
8 needles.
I don't know.
It wouldn't be around the barracks.
He makes them
Is
himself.
he an AIDS
It'd be
demon?
around that
He
fucking
makes them
smoke
himself.
zone.
Is he an AIDS demon? Did he
He's gonna
start it?
be in the
Yeah.
smoke pit, like the least defensible position possible.
But yeah,
That's amazing.
I'll be carrying just a large rucksack with a lot of high protein foods, whatever's in the fridge,
Just jerky.
and then a lot of water because I'll need a lot of that, and then iodine tablets. I'll take that as a medication. I'll take
Jerky. I need to make some more.
what else? Band-aids for boo-boos.
Yep. Gotta
Super
have-
glue for boo-boos.
Gotta have
I'm
them.
gonna go buy a London broil and turn it into beef jerky.
And what are the cauterizing bandages? What are those called?
You're talking about
Quick
combat
clot?
gauze. Combat gauze.
And you called it
Quick clot.
That's the
Yeah.
that's the chemical name that they have
okay.
inside them.
So yeah, so those are my 4 medications, quote unquote.
Not the chemical name, but the brand name of
And
the
then,
chemical they have in there. Like Tylenol is in the bandages.
Instead of like a armor rig, I'll just have like a recce chest rig because that's lighter and you can go
tell
prone.
he watches Garantham.
Everyone watches Grand Thumb.
I
but-
don't.
Yeah, you do. I know
Okay.
you do.
well,
And then I'll just keep my AKs and then just stay away from the shooting because I don't need to shoot people all on my own. Because
Yeah,
like
if
you've
you are
been
gonna
saying,
like bug out by yourself,
you need to avoid fights as much
Stay
as you
avoid.
possibly
you
can.
do
Oh,
because
boy.
every time you're in a fight, you roll the dice.
Yeah.
It's
The-
like a
the-
50-50
the
chance
gun-
who wins,
The gun is literally just a
and that's per person. So if you're attacked by a group of people,
yeah. The
No,
the rifle
it's way
is
worse.
it is a last chance. Like you fucked up, you ran into people by accident, and there's more of them than you, and you have to kill the one person in front of you, and you got to leave.
as
That's
a long
all it's
gun,
for.
a shotgun is possibly not the worst idea in the way that you can convert that very easily into a black powder firearm.
okay.
And if you know how to turn
That's good.
if you know how to turn your urine and grass into black powder, which is actually pretty
I
easy,
love
it just
that.
takes a while.
Yeah.
It's not hard to make black powder. You can try to make. So you can either just make fulminating mercury, or mercury fulminate because it's technically two different things. And then black powder, you can make primers, and then you can make black powder to make shotgun shells. And shotguns, don't need to be super clean to work. Or, you can, if you want to learn the chemistry behind and try to figure out how to source fucking nitroglycerin and whatever you need to make like cordite or something for smokeless powder.
Well, you could just dig a big hole and put a whole bunch of dead bodies you find in there. Get your
Yes. There are a lot of ways to get nitrates out of people.
You just gotta squeeze them hard enough. I think we're gonna close out the podcast there, folks. Thank you all so much for joining us
I
on
didn't get
this.
to say my loadout. Fuck you.
Oh, your loadout. No, we have to say your loadout.
Okay, I would take a semi-automatic rifle and 308, 9mm pistol, basically because 308 is one of the most common cartridges in the world, and so is 9mm. probably be steel frame. Hammer fire, striker fire doesn't matter because just if it's an all metal construction, then it's going to last longer. Penicillin is the most important medication. Everything after that is kind of superfluous. Things that are going to keep you from dying are the most important. Penicillin is probably going to be there most important. Acetaminophen,
Yeah,
you get a cold
you really
or
don't
flu.
want infections going on. So
Yeah.
any sort of antibiotic.
And
will
then
do.
food is going to be kind of also superfluous. Also, I'd wear hard, level 3 armor because if I get into a fight, I'll be able to slip that on at least pretty quickly.
Your intent
There
is
you go.
not necessarily to go fast or long distances per day. It's just to make sure you're protected.
Make sure you're protected. You're gonna ride out the craziest amount of shit in the woods, and then go try to be like, hey, I'm friendly. I'll bring you guys pelts and shit if you can also bring me more penicillin or things I can't replace, like cartridges. You don't want to be going around trying to kill people and looting their shit because you're rolling the dice every engagement, and if you're by yourself, you're fucked.
This isn't Tarkov.
And then food is, like I said, superfluous because you should be
I'll
able to
make
get
it
food
Tarkov.
in the wild. If you can smoke some food, smoke an elk.
Or
There you
no
go.
wild edibles and shit like that. You can eat your whole way there.
Yeah, I know a lot about wild berries in this area.
a
So
book.
Yes,
Where is
we
it?
are well aware.
I have a book right
yeah,
there.
I freak people
on
out.
the
'Cause
top
we go to the field and I just walk up to random berries and eat them, and it freaks people out.
I have a book right there at Wild Plants. Yeah, that's a good loadout, I'd say. Well, I think we have to close out the podcast. Thank you all so much for joining us for this New Year's special. A little bit longer than usual, but at any rate, thank you all so much. And as always, have a good one.